a quiet suburb in the heart of California. Picture the perfect little houses, white fences, clean driveways, neatly cut hedges. A place you drive through and say, this is the American dream. But sometimes, behind those closed doors, behind those picture windows, petty wars are waged, not over land, not over power, but over something much more trivial. A patch of grass, a few phone calls, a violation that shouldn't be. This is a story about a family, about their lawn, about a neighbor who crossed the line, about an HOA that chose control over compassion. It all started when California fell into a severe drought. The state made it a requirement: cut back on water, let your grass go yellow if you must. So we did just that. We turned off the sprinklers, and we let nature take its course. But the homeowners association, the HOA, they weren't having it. HOA, we noticed your lawn is deteriorating. Family, we're complying with state water regulations. We're conserving water. HOA, your yellow lawn is a violation of community standards. That's a $500 fine, effective immediately. Family, a violation for following the law? This was the first of many. $500 a day, then another, the total kept growing. Old because we chose to obey the state instead of pleasing the HOA. Frustrated and feeling powerless, we decided we'd had enough. So we challenged it in court. We presented the state's water conservation order. We explained we hadn't neglected our responsibilities. We were following the law. The trial was dramatic. The courtroom fell silent when the judge addressed the HOA. Judge, so you're fighting a family for conserving water during a statewide drought? Your Honor, we have community standards to maintain. Judge, your standards do not override state policy. The ruling came back in our favor. The fines were dismissed. I was forced to backtrack. For a moment, it seemed we'd gotten justice, but this story, it was far from over. Enter the nosy neighbor. The woman across the fence who decided this was her mission, to make our lives miserable. Dialogue, phone call to police. Neighbor, hello, police? There's a disturbance at 123 Maple Street. Police dispatcher, what kind of disturbance, ma'am? Neighbor, loud noises. All hours of the day and night. Police, we're sending a unit immediately. The officers came, checked the scene. Quiet, calm. The only disturbance was a family having dinner. This pattern repeated, night after night. Complaint after complaint for pure harassment. Police at the door. We're not sure what's going on here. We've gotten multiple complaints, but there's no actual disturbance. Family. We're sitting at the dinner table, having a meal. How's that a disturbance? The police grew frustrated. This was a waste of resources. A wild goose chase, brought on by a neighbor with a vendetta. The phone calls kept up until the police decided it was enough. Police calling the neighbor directly. We have investigated all complaints, and we have found them unfounded. If you continue to file false reports, you will be liable for filing a false police report. The message was clear. This power trip was over. The neighbor fell silent. The fell back in its place. The neighborhood, quiet once more. This isn't a story about grass or phone calls or even a few $100s in fines. It's a story about control, about pettiness, about what happens when power falls into the hands of people who, instead of serving their community, seek to micromanage it. But it's also a story about fairness, about a family who stood up, about a court that upheld justice, about a police department that chose the side of the people. Because when we follow the rules, when we do what's right, the small battles we win ripple into something much bigger. This is a story about a neighborhood, about patience, about dignity, about choosing principle over pettiness, and letting justice, in the end, prevail. And that, friends, is the wild ride we call HOA stories, where a little patch of grass can become a battle for justice. If you like this story, if you want more jaw-dropping tales from suburbia, the kind you won't find anywhere else, Make sure to like this video, subscribe to Curbside Conspiracy, and hit that bell icon, so you're first in line when we drop our next episode of Hidden Neighborhood Dramas.